Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating one, Vertical Aerospace, ticker EVTL. We're going to break down the bull case, the bear case, and everything in between for a company that's trying to kickstart a whole new era of electric flight.
So let's just jump right in. At its core, this is a company that wants to totally change how you and I get around our cities. The real question is, can they actually pull it off? And maybe more importantly for us, is now the right time to bet that they will?
Okay, so to really get vertical aerospace, you first got to understand the tech they're working with, the eVTL. Just think of a quiet, all-electric aircraft that can lift off the ground like a helicopter, but then fly forward like a plane. Yeah, that's the revolution we're talking about here.
So who exactly is Vertical Aerospace? And, what makes their spin on this whole flying taxi market any different from all the other companies trying to do the same thing?
Well, they're based out of Bristol over in the UK, and they are definitely a major player in this race. They've been grinding away since 2016, and pretty much this entire story, everything we're going to talk about, revolves around their flagship aircraft, the VX4. All right, let's get into the good stuff. Let's talk about the bull case for the stock. If you're an optimist on Vertical, your argument really comes down to three main pillars: a super smart business model, what looks like a superior product, and, well, they've just recently shored up their financials in a big way. First off, their strategy is just really interesting. See, instead of trying to build every single piece of this thing from scratch, which would be crazy expensive, Vertical acts more like a conductor. They partner with the absolute best in the business. We're talking giants like Honeywell and GKN to make all the key parts. The idea here is that this should slash costs and, maybe most importantly, make that super complicated certification process go a lot faster. And you know what? It looks like that strategy is actually working. Back in April, it led to this huge technical win when they pulled off a piloted transition flight. Now, this is the single hardest thing to do with an eVTOL, going from that vertical hover to flying forward like a plane and then back again. Nailing this was a massive, massive step in proving the tech. So that's pillar one. Pillar two is the plane itself. The VX4 is designed to be a category killer for one simple reason: its payload. It can carry more than double what its main rivals can. And look, this isn't just about winning on a spec sheet. It means it can actually work as an airport shuttle. It can carry a whole family and all their bags. The competition, they just can't do that. And that one advantage, that payload, has led directly to this: a pre-order book from major airlines. Think American Airlines, Virgin Atlantic, worth over $6 billion. I mean, come on, these aren't just some startups. These are the biggest names in the sky saying, "We like your design." That's a huge vote of confidence. Now for the final and maybe the most crucial piece of the bull case, money. The company was burning through cash like crazy, and that had investors really worried. But then, in March of this year, they locked in a massive new financing deal. This basically gives them the money they need to get through certification, taking that immediate threat of going broke right off the table. So you put all that together, the proven tech, the secured funding, and you get to the heart of the bull argument: this potential gap in valuation. The bulls are looking at the current stock price and saying, wait a minute, this seems way too cheap compared to where the pros think it could be headed. But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Every big opportunity comes with big risks. So now we have to flip the coin and look at the bear case. What could seriously get in this company's way? The number one issue, without a doubt, is the race to get certified by the aviation authorities. This is an incredibly slow, expensive, and complicated process. And right now, the estimates say Vertical is about 1 to 2 years behind its main competitors in the US. Any more delays could mean they lose that critical first-mover advantage, and they could burn right through all that new cash they just raised. And on top of that race against time, investors are keeping a really close eye on three other big risks that could cause some serious turbulence for the stock. Let's break them down. So that financing deal that saved the day, it comes with a price. It opens the door to what's called shareholder dilution. Basically, they'll create a bunch more shares, which means each existing share becomes a smaller slice of the pie. That could put a cap on how high the stock can go. Then there's the fact that the company is dealing with multiple legal investigations over things they've said in the past. And finally, the fight for top-tier aerospace engineers is absolutely brutal right now. Okay, so how on earth do you take these two completely opposite stories and put them together to get a clear picture? Let's try to weigh the promise against the peril. This scorecard pretty much sums up the whole story, right? On the tech side, they have a category killer design, but they're playing catch-up in the certification race.
On the money side, they've got fresh funding, but it comes with that risk of dilution. And for the market, they've got this incredible $6 billion pre-order book. But, and this is a big but, those orders are still conditional. They're not yet firm contracts with cash deposits.
So, what should we be watching for?
Well, there are a few key things coming up that could really move the stock. A public flight demo, like at the Farnborough Air Show, would be a huge PR win. But honestly, the really big one, converting those pre-orders into firm deposit-backed contracts. That would be the first real proof of future sales, and that's a game changer for any company that isn't making money yet.
So, at the end of the day, it all boils down to this one question. For anyone looking at this stock right now, you have to decide if you believe Vertigo can fight through all these challenges to cash in on its big advantages. Is this a chance to get in on the ground floor of a generational shift in transportation, or is it just a high-risk flight of fancy? The next 9 months or so will probably give us our answer.